Hi guys, thanks for joining the cast of thewatcher.com. Tonight we've got the notorious summer forecast coming up for the British Isles. See how things are going to be turning up for the months of June, July and August, see how things might shape up. I'll be issuing another May update for the end of May, and I'll be issuing the final 2013 summer forecast at the start of June, which will run through the weather for the months of June, July and also August. Long range forecasting is notoriously difficult to do, so yes, probably make some mistakes here and there, but as we go through to September, we'll look back on the forecast and see how it's gone wrong and where the good bits are, and for your experience and also for my long-range forecasting capability. So this is the current chart for Friday today. You can see that we've got area of high pressure across towards the North and United Kingdom. What's very interesting here is extent of blocking starting to get going all the way from Russia towards Greenland. This means that we could see area of blocking area of high pressure. And what this means is that we see low pressure across many parts of the United Kingdom. The month of May has been quite warm, potentially in temperature of 11.2 degrees Celsius, which is a good degree or so above what we should be. But we are going to go into the cool conditions, and the CFS has picked up on this fairly well. You can see that we're all in the blue, so this means that the end of the last part of remaining part of May looks like to be quite cool across many parts of the United Kingdom. This is the forecast for the Beijing Climate Centre for areas of low pressure and high pressure at 500 millibar. What's different with this model is areas of high pressure are actually indicated by oranges and also reds. So oranges and reds indicate high pressure, and the blues and the greens indicate lower. The oranges and the reds indicate below average pressure, so low pressure, and the blues and the greens indicate high pressure. It's twisted around this one. It's sort of different than the rest of the models we're looking at today. And basically what it's showing is a big area of low pressure out towards Scandinavia. This will be in areas of rain and also wind, especially across northern and eastern parts of the country. And there's high pressure out to the south, blocking this low pressure out here, meaning that we will see unsettled conditions if the Brazilian model was correct. So not fantastic if you were to believe the Brazilian model today. Looking at the anomaly for forecast for precipitation, you can see here that many parts of Scandinavia where the block was, if we just go back to that chart there, which is where the low pressure is, it's in the same position. We're going to see the above average precipitation. So this means that the United Kingdom will be seeing above average precipitation if the Brazilian model was to be believed. Looking at the Beijing Climate Centre, well, similar stories really, if you're agreeing with the CFS, but we have got this area blocking area high pressure out to the northeast of the country, and these sort of unsettled conditions close to British Isles, which will be meaning that the south will be unsettled and the north will be dry, which is sort of reversed from what the Brazilian model has been saying. Looking at the Beijing Climate Centre for rainfall, again picking up an idea of perhaps above average rainfall across southern and western parts of the country, with dry conditions out towards northern Scotland here. So again, the Beijing Climate Centre hinting at cooler, wetter conditions out to the south, and perhaps drier conditions out towards the northwest of the country, if the Beijing Climate Centre was believed with its idea of high pressure out to the northwest and low pressure out to the south. Turning our focus to the CFS model, well, this is the CFS forecast for June, July and also August. Area of high pressure up to the east of the country and area of low pressure across the country, and this basically indicates that we'll see probably dry and average conditions out to the east, but there are very weak signals from the CFS today, probably indicating the dry conditions out to the east of the country with this sort of pressure pattern with a jet stream running through towards the northwest of the country. Looking at the CFS forecast for rainfall, so the oranges and the reds indicate dry conditions, and the greens and the blues indicate wetter conditions. Wetter conditions are held towards the southern parts of Europe, and again, where that position of the low pressure is, the high pressure is, if we just go back to the 700 millibar flow, that blob there of yellowy colours there indicates that we'll see dry conditions across central parts of Europe and affecting the British Isles too, with probably more warm southerly winds or southeasterly winds if the CFS version 2 was to be believed. But it's not looking particularly fantastic if it was to bleed across the Mediterranean. So if you're looking for thunderstorms, well, not looking particularly fantastic for the UK. Perhaps some in the south if the CFS was to be believed. If you're looking for warm weather, if the CFS was to be believed, well, I looked at the temperature chart, but there were very weak signals across the United Kingdom and the whole of Europe, so there's not much point of showing that. But there is sort of a signal here for probably conditions near normal across the British Isles, perhaps slightly above normal in the east of the country. So all in all, quite mixed messages from the walls this evening. The CFS version 2 is sticking with the Beijing Climate Centre somewhat on its idea of high pressure yachts north and east of the country with low pressure yachts to the south. And the Brazilian model, which is the one we looked at the start, is hinting again at that focus of low pressure instead of high pressure yachts to east of the country, which will bring in areas of rain and also strong winds. At the moment, I think we're going to see a high frequency of easterly winds across many parts of the country through the summer period. And I think we could see unsettled conditions close to the southwest of the country and perhaps close to the west of the country as well, meaning that most central areas are dry, but the east probably going to see a high frequency of easterly winds, and I think we could see low pressure, especially towards the end of the summer in the southwest. So that's the summer forecast, or a quick look at the summer, how conditions might be shaping up. Thanks very much for watching. Basically, if you want to get all the forecasts, just go to castingsweatherwatcher.com. You can get all the forecasts that you want here. Just go through to the latest weather video page. That takes you through, and you can look for the weekend forecast or whatever forecast is on there. 3-day weather forecast too. Everything you can get on there. Weather aware. You can enter June 2013 5-year-old forecast. Everything you want. Cookies as well. Not if you want to buy cookies. If you're interested in the cooking private policy thingy-majiggy, you can also check that out as well. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you back on my site again. Thanks very much for watching, and see you later.